What would you do if you discovered your spouse was cheating, and instead of confronting them, you smiled, kissed them goodnight, and started quietly building the most calculated exit of your life? That's exactly what I did. For 6 months, I knew everything. And they suspected nothing. My name is Daniel. I'm 38 years old, from outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And for 11 years, I was married to a woman named Cassandra, Cassie, I used to call her. She was smart, put together, the kind of woman who always had a plan. We met in our late 20s, got married fast, built a life together even faster. A house, 2 dogs, a shared bank account, mutual friends, the whole picture. I worked in commercial real estate. Long hours, a lot of travel, a lot of stress, but I brought that money home and I was proud of it. Cassie worked as a marketing director for a mid-sized tech company. We were, on paper, a power couple. Friends envied us. Family called us goals. But somewhere around year 8, the warmth between us started cooling. Not dramatically, not with big fights, just a slow frost. I told myself it was stress. Told myself every long marriage hits dry spells. I kept showing up, kept trying, kept loving her the only way I knew how. It wasn't dramatic. There was no lipstick on a collar, no mysterious phone call at midnight. It was a notification. Cassie had left her laptop open on the kitchen counter, and a message preview popped up on the screen. I wasn't snooping. I was just walking past with a cup of coffee. The name was Marcus, her colleague, a man I'd had dinner with, a man I'd shaken hands with at her company Christmas party. The preview was only a sentence long, but that one sentence told me everything. My hands went cold, my chest got tight. I stood there in my own kitchen, in my own house, and felt the floor shift beneath me. Every instinct I had screamed at me to confront her right then and there. To call her in from the living room, slam the laptop down, and demand the truth. But I didn't. Something stopped me. Maybe it was the years of watching her work. Cassie was a strategist, in business and in life. If I confronted her emotionally and unprepared, she would control the narrative. She would minimize, deflect, and I would end up looking like the unstable one. I'd seen her do it before in arguments. She was good. So instead, I closed my eyes, took a breath, set down my coffee, and walked back into the living room like nothing had happened. "Hey," I said casually. "You want to order Thai tonight?" She smiled. "Sure, babe," the usual. And right there, in that ordinary moment, my quiet war began. Over the following weeks, I started paying attention in a way I never had before. I wasn't paranoid, I was precise. I noticed when she stayed late. I noticed the new gym bag she never actually used at the gym. I noticed how her phone, which used to sit face up on the nightstand, now always went face down. I didn't snoop obsessively, I just watched. And slowly, calmly, I began building my case, not just emotionally, but legally and financially. I called a divorce attorney in April. Quietly, on my lunch break, from my car, in a parking garage. I found out exactly what I was entitled to, what documentation I needed, and how to protect my assets without raising any red flags. The attorney, a sharp woman named Patricia, told me something I'll never forget. She said, "The spouse who prepares wins. The spouse who reacts loses." I prepared. I started making copies of financial documents, joint accounts, investment records, property deeds. I opened a personal savings account and began setting aside money, not hiding it, nothing illegal, just organizing what was already mine. I documented everything Patricia told me to document. Meanwhile, at home, I kept playing the role of the devoted husband. I cooked dinners. I suggested weekend getaways. I even bought Cassie flowers on our anniversary in May, looked her in the eyes, and said, "I'm grateful for us." She teared up, and I felt nothing. That was the moment I knew I'd already emotionally left the marriage. I wasn't performing cruelty. I was simply done. And I was going to leave on my own terms. By June, I had everything Patricia needed. Every document, every account, a quiet, airtight case. I'd also, during those months, started rebuilding my own life from the inside out. I reconnected with friends I'd drifted from. I started working out again. I quietly began exploring job opportunities in Atlanta, where I'd always wanted to relocate. I was becoming the man I wanted to be after this marriage, while still inside it. Then came the last Saturday of August. Cassie told me she had a work retreat that weekend, a conference a few hours away. She packed a bag Friday night, kissed me on the cheek, and said she'd be back Sunday. I already knew there was no conference. Patricia had advised me to have one final concrete piece of documentation. Without going into every detail, I had it by Saturday afternoon. That evening, I sat alone in our house, completely at peace. I ordered that Thai food again. I watched a movie. I slept like I hadn't slept in months. Sunday morning, when Cassie walked through the door with her rolling bag and a tired smile, I was sitting at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee and a manila folder. I slid it across the table before she even set her bag down. "What's this?" she asked, her voice already uncertain. "Divorce papers," I said quietly. "Already filed." Friday morning. The color drained from her face. "Daniel, what? Where is this coming from? We can talk about." "There's nothing to talk about, Cassie." I stood up, calm as still water. "I've known about Marcus since March. I didn't say a word because I wanted to do this right. Everything is already in order." She started crying, started explaining, started the exact kind of emotional deflection I had spent 6 months preparing for. I picked up my coffee, walked to the door, and said, "My attorney will be in touch." And I left my own house. Without shaking, without yelling, without giving her a single moment of drama to weaponize. The divorce was finalized 4 months later. Because I had prepared so thoroughly, the settlement was clean and fair, heavily in my favor on the asset division Patricia had advised me on. I got the house, which I later sold. I relocated to Atlanta in January. Cassie and Marcus dated briefly after the divorce. It didn't last, it rarely does. I don't carry anger about it anymore. What I carry is a lesson I earned the hard way. Dignity is the most powerful thing you can walk away with. So if you're sitting with something painful right now, here's what 6 months of silence taught me. First, emotion is valid, but timing is everything. Reacting in your worst moment hands control to the person who already betrayed you. Breathe, prepare, then move. Second, rebuilding starts before you leave. I didn't wait until after the divorce to start becoming who I wanted to be. I started in the middle of the pain. That head start changed everything. And third, the coldest revenge isn't cruelty. It's indifference. It's thriving. It's building something so good that the betrayal becomes the smallest part of your story. I'm in Atlanta now. New city, new energy, new chapter. And honestly, I'm good. If this story hit you somewhere deep, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe to Betrayal Shadows and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this. And drop a comment below. What would you do if you found out the truth? Would you confront them immediately, or would you play it smart? Tell me. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next shadow.